Braver Together is a call to action for people in Fort Worth and Tarrant County to come together to address racial inequities right here in our backyard. We have to say unapologetically, there are communities that have received the short end of the stick. Those communities have been communities of color, and it is our responsibility to do something about it, focus on it, and ensure that those children growing up in 76104 have just as much life expectancy and life outcome as any other zip code in Fort Worth.
Once upon a time, it was a vital, strong community that you could, everybody talk about Black Wall Street and what was going on in different parts of the country, but Black Wall Street was right along Evans Avenue. Anything that you need, it was like having a Walmart, having every known grocery store, having the dentist's office, having the lawyer, attorney's office. Anything that you need was along that strip, and people didn't have to go outside the community. I got an opportunity some years ago to interview, God bless this lady, she's passed on. Her name is Hazel Harvard Peace, and she died. She was like 100-something years old. And my point was to ask her, what was it like growing up during Jim Crow era and that feeling of all the challenges which was going on? And she said something I will never, ever forget. She said, I really didn't have to deal with much of that because everything that we needed was right here in the neighborhood. And unfortunately, like many areas across the country, when neighborhoods were open up to many of us, and some folks chose to go in different sections of the neighborhood, and sometimes we lost some of those stronger people that were in the community, and unfortunately, at the end, we start seeing the plight of the 80s with the crack and drug epidemic, and we start seeing many of the services that these communities had were actually removed.
I remember I was interviewing a community member a couple months ago. We were hosting this market over at Texas Wesleyan, and took her an hour and a half to get there. And she lived just a mile away, because she had to take the bus to downtown, get on a transfer station, take another bus all the way back to her neighborhood. Doesn't make sense. But when you think about it, this is what our community members contend with every day. Now imagine trying to go to a job. Imagine trying to go get groceries. Imagine having to go pick up your kids because they got sick. It's only until you get west of 35 that you start getting more resources, that you start seeing more abundance. And unfortunately, with all the development that has happened in that side of 76104, it's also made things very expensive, very exclusive. And unfortunately, for a lot of the communities of color that we're trying to serve, those resources and those activities and lifestyles aren't available to us.
There's so many Fort Worth prominent people that grew up and still have ties to that area. So how do we get to either come back and be a part of the solution to rebuilding, either come back or invest where our children and grandchildren know the rich history of 76104. So what's disheartening is this is now the lowest life expectancy community, when before it was a thriving Black community. So how do we go back to that but make it look different, be bigger and better?
I think the big picture here is that 76104 was a community that was intact, thriving, that supported their neighbors. It was a Black community that was really the cornerstone of the Black culture here in Fort Worth, and really built a lot of the Fort Worth that we see today. And I think it's our responsibility, in our charge, to give back to that community what they've given to us for so many years. And that's gonna look like us making policy changes. It's gonna look like us supporting local small businesses and ensuring that our schools are thriving.
Well, I think the biggest thing that I look at is people come in and tell us what they feel like is best for us, instead of coming to us and asking us our ideas and our goals and our visions and the way we want to see the community. So you come in and then you do this, and we supposed to say thank you, but this ain't what we asked for.
Equity isn't a zero-sum game. Equity isn't about if I give more to someone else that I have to take from other people. The truth is that there is enough to go around, and we know that. We waste resources in our country hand over fist, and really thinking about how are we strategically aligning the resources that we have to support communities that need it the most. It's just basic common sense.
The biggest thing of it is, and BRAVER Together is doing it. I mean, we've had several meetings in dealing with education, housing, nutrition. We have several meetings, and we're bringing in other people in the community to address those issues. And I think that's the key. They've actually galvanized us in 76104 to be a beacon of light and hope for the rest of our community.
Just by putting two and two together, I feel like unity, coming together, holding each other up, being strong, being brave, leaning on one another, nothing separate, everything together. We are brave together. In my opinion, together we are strong, separately we fall.